backpack. He's like, Sundown's really good. Papa's a problem.
Yeah, I remember him. He was real tall
He's
too.
big,
He was a big size kid.
big kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, played
It's
it.
amazing some of these kids, like how they slip through the cracks too from Division One. I mean, a lot
Well,
of these guys.
it's like
Yeah.
Eric. It's like Eric. Um, Eric was 5'10", 145 as a freshman.
So he bloomed late. That's why the D1. Yeah. Yeah.
As a junior, he's 6'1", 185.
And they've already got the recruiting done
And
for
that
a
was
lot of.
that was back when
Yeah.
they could sign freshmen.
Sure. Yeah.
So there was a kid in Charlotte who was another lefty in Charlotte who they came up all the way through youth lacrosse together and had a rivalry. He ended up getting signed to Mercer as a freshman and didn't make it through 3 semesters. Where Eric
Is
had
Mercer just that good? I saw the exhibition game at 17-4.
no, we didn't have our 5 top. We didn't have 5 of our top five. We didn't have 4 offensive starters and 2 defensive starters.
That explains that.
If we have those, if we have Eric and Miles,
your son didn't even
touring,
play. Yeah.
if we have those guys in that game,
Yeah.
we have the lead at the end of the first quarter, and they start freaking out.
Yeah.
It becomes a whole different game.
I figured something was missing there when I looked at the box score because I go 17-4. They're not that much better than
No, they're not. And like last week when the Coker game got canceled, Coach P tried to schedule VMI, which would have been really cool.
Oh yeah.
But then Coker rescheduled. So
Sure. Tell you what, I'm gonna move this.
yeah, we need a little bit.
No, it's all good. I'm gonna move this because I'm gonna charge it up over here and just leave my charts right here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you and I are pretty big size or tall guys at least.
Yeah,
Stretch out here.
Sitting on the metal folding chairs last weekend was not very comfortable. Yes. Tell him Stanley and Caroline is under Jack. They were added. Tell them they were added by Aaron Becker. Tell them they were added by. Can't do anything about that.
You know what's funny? I went in that gate and the girl was like, they didn't have me on the list, and then this guy walks up and he goes, I go, man, I'm broadcasting the game. And I said, apparently they didn't put me on the credential list. And he goes, oh, dude, this is not for me. He's like, this is just for parents. I was like, oh, okay. So he let me.
Well, guess we're waiting. I got the live box score up here.
Awesome.
And I have D2 scores up here.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
You're watching South Atlantic Conference Men's Lacrosse and two heavyweights being featured today. It's the Limestone Saints, the 12th ranked team of the country, taking on the 7th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne Bears at Moret Stadium. And hi everyone, I'm Kendall Lewis alongside my partner Jamie Dickinson here with you today. And Jamie, it doesn't get much better than this in terms of the Southeast region. These two teams have been at the cream of the crop. Limestone, their first year in the South Atlantic Conference, but coming off one of their worst performances against Wingate.
Yeah, that was a tough one last weekend against Wingate. I think they had a bunch of guys out with COVID restrictions and some other stuff. So this should be their first real test, and it'll be a great follow-up to the Crown Classic last year, when a week before the season got canceled due to the virus.
Mentioned two heavyweights. Limestone trying to bounce back. They were held to just 3 goals against Wingate.
That's the first time since 2006 that they scored 3 goals or fewer.
Chris Parrott. Face-off for Limestone up against Brett Newton.
Nope.
Excuse me.
Cullen Walsh.
Cullen Walsh.
I think. No, it should be Zach Badeau is at the face-off for LR.
And ground ball picked up. Limestone with pace going to push. This is Steve Warner. This Limestone team, as I mentioned, 3 goals against Wingate, who's also a top 15 team in the country. This SAC conference, ultra competitive as well. Limestone, plenty of weapons. This is one of J.B. Clark's younger offenses. And unfamiliar territory coming off of a loss. 1-1 in SAC play, 2-1 to start the season.
Limestone being really patient here on offense.
Erneston gets a pick, trying to feed it just left of the cage, and this one will trickle as Lenoir-Rhyne goes on offense. So, Jamie, what are your keys today for both teams?
I think just as like when we played Belmont Abbey 2 weeks ago, LR wants to play fast. LR wants to get the goal total somewhere in the 25 range. If LR can do that, that'll be a huge advantage, especially against a young Limestone team.
LR just moving the ball around. Mitchell Linklater cradles it. He was 11th in the sack and ground balls a season ago. Good feed, and the opening goal of the contest.
That's Eccleston from Canada. With great feed from Canada up top, down to Eccleston standing on the crease, sticks it 5-hole.
How about that for a start for the Bears?
That's a great start. That's exactly what LR wanted. A defensive stop turns into a goal.
Torin Eccleston picks up his 5th goal of the 2021 campaign in just his 3rd game of action this season. Couple of checks. Parrott wins the faceoff again and answers the bell. And we are tied at 1 apiece.
Yep, defense has got to slide there and stop the ball.
Chris Parrott, certainly one of the top face-off guys in the SAC. He has been for Conference Carolinas, the conference that Limestone moved into the SAC from. He was a 2-time All-Conference Carolinas selection. And he is 4th in career face-off percentage. J.B. Clark certainly has a guy in the circle he can rely on, Jamie, when it comes to face-offs.
Absolutely. He's a transfer from Hartford Community College, so he's one of their more experienced players.
Couple of top 15 teams, a couple of very good head coaches that we'll get to here in just a moment. You heard us mention J.B. Clark in his 11th season, over 300 career victories, 3 Division II national championships. And Greg Paradine on the other side, a North Carolina graduate. And how about that? Limestone takes their opening lead of the contest, and it's Owen Consoletti.
Bears have got to play a little bit more in their hands on defense and not allow a guy to get to the middle like that. Noah Flash at the face-off now.
So just a couple of minutes in, already 3 goals. And, Jamie, you and I were talking off air before this one that we thought it would be a high-scoring affair. 2 powerful offenses going at it here.
Yeah, both teams like to really go. The game last year at the Crown Classic was LR won 18-16. So there was that's the type of game LR wants to get into right now.
Behind the cage now is Eccleston, who has the lone goal for the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne. Chilly afternoon here at Moret Stadium.
Tommy Aguilar with the ball up top. He's a great-looking freshman.
Bryce Reese had 6 goals last year. Already a great start off to this year for LR. The step down, and this one's wide. Right idea that time by your son, Eric Dickinson.
Absolutely. He's not afraid to shoot the ball.
Dickinson winds up and finds the twine.
There we go. That's one of his moves. He likes to get up over the top and let one rip. He did a great job of shooting through a screen. I don't think the goalie ever saw it.
Back and forth we go. You're in for a treat this afternoon at Moret Stadium.
And I think there's a little woofing going on the field right now.
Let's take a second look at the goal from Eric Dickinson.
That's the missed shot. Here comes the restart. Nope, we missed it. Oh, well. Next time.
It was a good one at that. And 4 different goal scorers to start the game, tied at 2 apiece.
We got a scrum.
Parrott trying to cradle it. This one's still loose on the turf.
Great job by Connor Scanley picking up that ball, but staying inside the box, not going outside and creating a turnover, giving it back to LR.
11:23 left in the first.
Noah Flash last year in the Crown Classic basically got in the heads of the Limestone faceoff guys, and they were in the they had 3 faceoff violations very quickly in the first and second half of both that game, and really was a huge advantage for LR last year.
If you're Limestone, Jamie, how do you slow down this potent offensive attack from Lenoir-Rhyne?
I'm not really sure. Well, what you are going to see is an example of right here. You might get LR gets a few turnovers here and there, but Coach Paradine's actually okay with them turning the ball over because that's part of playing fast.
Coach Paradine, a good one, a 1993 graduate from North Carolina. This Lenoir-Rhyne program, they've made a couple of NCAA tournament appearances back in 2017 and 18, and I think most across the country knew they were destined to be an NCAA tournament team from a season ago. Yeah. Unfortunately, due to COVID, the season cut short.
Yeah, they were on a roll when the season ended last year after playing Assumption, after beating the number 3 and number 1 teams on consecutive weekends, Adelphi and Limestone. And they had their mojo going on, and they had a bunch of freshmen contributing, which are continuing to contribute as sophomores.
Limestone on the restart. This is Frank Smith. Transfer from Bryant. Had it jarred loose. And this one picked up by the Bears.
Benyak on the ball. He's clearing. It's a bit of a punt return clear.
Taking a couple of checks.
Great play by the Limestone attackman.
Now with numbers and pace. Consoletti has a goal already for Limestone. Instead, he'll pull it away.
Great job by Victor Powell stopping that break and turning Limestone out to the wing and getting them to settle the offense so we could get back on defense.
That could have been disastrous for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Absolutely. Great to see the freshman playing so big in such a big game.
Carpenter spins. He'll toss back to Erneston. Absorbing the contact, dumps it beneath the cage.
Limestone's got Powell hung up there now. Great job by Powell there.
Carpenter makes his move. Trying to reverse it back. Good D by the Bears right now. And the shot clock's at 26. Gavin Kesselring, the senior from Atlanta.
Interesting story. Eric Dickinson and Gavin Kesselring actually played club ball in high school together.
And here they are today, a top 15 matchup. Erneston looking for space. Can't find it. And a mistake from the Saints.
That's a great defensive stand from the Bears, stopping a fast break. Victor Powell playing hard physical defense and getting them a shot block. Oh, and we can't pick up a ground ball. That's a problem.
Lenoir-Rhyne, they've been a pretty good team and it's successful at clearing this year.
Yeah, the midfield there needed to move towards the ball to catch it rather than let it bounce. When nothing good happens when you let a long pass bounce like that. Weird spin and off the turf, and it just hopped over his stick.
Consoletti has a goal. He was a junior college All-American, has it checked loose, ripped away, and with pace, here come the Bears.
We're running. Fast break. On the crease.
How about that? Linklater.
And we have a flag down. We're going and one. LR is going to be man up with an illegal body check, late hit. No, excuse me. It's interference. The goal's waved off. We're going to be even. That's actually a really good call by Dan Dulzema. He's a very, very experienced referee, one of the best ones here in the Carolinas.
Credit the assist, Linklater to Eccleston that time. And Eccleston, a couple of goals for the Bears.
It's great to see Linklater playing a little offense. He usually gets right off the field.
This game getting a little chippy as well. Both teams know what's at stake.
Yeah, Limestone's got to be a little bit desperate right now today with this game in that the D2 has changed it from 12 to 10 teams that get into the NCAA tournament. And teams with 2 losses are just really going to struggle to get into the tournament at the end of the year.
Well, we talk about how good the SAC is especially when you have Wingate, who's 12th in the country as well.
I actually think Wingate actually moved up to 6th after beating Limestone last weekend. Tommy Aguilar with a little bit of a slip and a mistake, going back to play defense.
You are correct. Wingate did move up, and there's 3 teams in the top 15 in the SAC.
And it's
just an incredible league.
Yep,
The Southeast region's always been extremely tough. Bouncer, is it in?
Yep.
It is.
Yeah,
Connor Grower.
The SAC, which is basically based in North and South Carolina with 2 teams in Tennessee, is one of the top leagues in the South. They usually get multiple bids to the NCAA tournament. You've got the league down in Florida. I believe it's the Sunshine Conference. And then you have a conference that deals with a lot of the teams that go out west.
Let's take a second look here. Connor Grower, his first goal of the contest. A lot of contact. Parrott controls. And Limestone's just going to look to build it from the back. And the feed upfield. Wide, but picked up. Krotzer takes it underneath the cage.
This is interesting. Coach Paradine's running multiple face-off guys out there. He must sense that LR can wear Limestone down at the face-off X. It may not pay dividends here in the first quarter, but I'm sure in the second half, when you got 4 guys grinding on one, that might turn into an advantage.
How beneficial is that when you have multiple guys like Coach Paradine does that can all face off? As you just mentioned, it can wear down maybe if another team has one of the top face-off guys.
Great outlet.
In transition, step down, you bet. Back of the net again, it's Eric Dickinson.
And Christian Starkey with a great job on running that fast break, drawing a defender, creating an opening for Dickinson, and Dickinson sticks it top right. No, it's a big deal to be able to have multiple guys on the face-off just to be able to grind on it. And the nice thing about all the LR face-off guys is they're all different. So if one style's not working, we can go to a different one.
Get a second look. Eric Dickinson, automatic.
Yeah, he's not afraid to shoot from there.
Who'd he learn that from?
He learned it in himself, actually. I was a goalie, so I was playing against that.
LR looking to create a little separation. The bouncer. This is going to trickle, and the Bears will have the restart with 5:47 to go in the first. Already a combined 7 goals and a great crowd on hand today.
Yeah,
of course, the limited capacity, but
well, actually, with the governor's order that went into effect February 28th, we're actually 100 people more than we were against Belmont Abbey. The really cool thing is we got a whole bunch of LR alumni here today, which was just great to see.
Linklater trying to feed it.
Bit of a force.
Dickinson trying to pick up the ground ball. And he does. LR will just reset.
Halfway through the shot clock now.
What would you like to see on this possession from LR?
Bryce Reese go. Like that.
Nice move.
Tip. Nope. Nope, they didn't give him the tip. They call it a pass, which is probably the right call. And LR is now going to ride. They're in their 10-man ride, which is like the full court press in basketball. And we got a tip. Oh, great play over there.
We talk about these two teams offensively. But
that's a great ride by LR, and we are going.
Dickinson, downhill.
Off the post.
What a shot. And contact after mentioned things getting a little chippy between these two teams. The keeper.
That's actually just two guys really hustling for that ground ball, trying to get to the closest spot when and where the ball goes out of bounds.
The keeper for Limestone today, William Baxter. He's a grad transfer. For LR, it's been Noah Johnson who's been solid this year in the cage for the Bears.
LR's just playing great defense in their ride. Oh.
Dickinson again, he'll fire.
Need to put it somewhere else. The goalie, he scored twice top right. The goalie was waiting for that one.
Two good keepers, but two very good offenses in this one today. Smith taking a couple of checks that time from Massey, the freshman. Plenty of younger talent on the field as well, Jamie. You got to love that from both coaches. They've got it coming in the next couple of years as well.
Absolutely. Both these programs are only going to get better and be competing for SAC championships going forward. Great double. Great double.
Checked away.
Come on, boys, pick it up.
Who can control the ground balls in this one will be a big factor.
There we go.
And that one picked up that time by Evan Torres.
Oh, Dillon State needs to pick that up. Oh, Dickinson's got it.
Dickinson, the bouncer.
White ball. This is the type of pace that LR wants. Helter, skelter. Basically, if we can get Limestone, if we can get any team, Limestone especially, into a scramble drill, that plays right into what LR wants to do.
Bryce Reese, we mentioned 6 goals, 5 assists last year. Dumps off to Aguilar. LR is such a balanced attack as well. Plenty of weapons.
Oop.
And the shot goes high that time.
Great trail check by the Limestone defender to get Reese to alter his shot.
You're watching SAC Men's Lacrosse on SAC Live from Hickory, North Carolina. Glad you're tuned in from wherever you may be. Step down again. Top right, you bet. And that's Miles Moffitt.
Bit of a Canadian connection there with number 22, Liam McGrath from Nova Scotia, feeding Miles Moffitt from, where's he from again?
Miles Moffitt is from Canada.
He's from Calgary. No,
Calgary.
Wait, yep.
That's right.
Yep. My apologies to the Moffitt family for forgetting where Mr. Miles is from.
Take a second look here.
It's just a great feed, great unselfish play. And Moffitt has really worked on his game before he when he got here as a freshman, he was basically an inside finisher, and he hurt his knee, missed his sophomore season last year, and last year he worked tirelessly on his outside shot, and he's gotten so much better at that he's not just an inside threat now. We're under 60 seconds. Over the top. Mike Caholen with the ball. Micah Holland's brother Greg played at the University of Virginia. He comes from just a great lacrosse family out of Rochester, New York.
Caholen straight away. Step down. This one deflected away by Baxter. Well, you knew the keepers today were going to get tested as strong as these two offenses are.
Absolutely.
Noah Johnson, he's been solid in the cage for Lenoir-Rhyne all season long.
One thing that I'm seeing here from LR is we got midfielders playing both ways. Really kind of going back to old school two-way lacrosse, and that's just great to see. A guy goes, plays defense. He's rewarded for great defensive play to stay on the field, play offense, and get an opportunity to score.
Owen Consoletti, he's the JUCO transfer, was a junior college All-American. Gives way to Erneston. His sister plays lacrosse at Ohio State.
We're at 35 seconds on the shot clock with that shot. Seems like lacrosse runs in families.
What a shot that time. And Carpenter pulls the Saints within one.
It's just a great individual move to be the defender.
So Mike Carpenter, the senior from Queensbury, New York, able to find the back of the cage.
This is actually a big face-off right now. It's 5-4. There's 47 seconds left in the period. We need to, whoever wins this face-off has a chance to run out the clock and play offense for the balance of the quarter.
5-4 it has been, back and forth here at Moret Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina.
And I suspect that Coach Paradine's just going to let him play here. Get work for one good shot. Will Kanata from Waxhaw, North Carolina, with the ball up top.
Kanata actually had a hat trick against Limestone in the Crown Classic last year.
Yeah, he was basically Limestone last year. Let's see what Will does here.
Kanata, the bouncer.
And that boy is not afraid to shoot the ball.
And with 6 seconds, Lenoir-Rhyne takes a 2-goal lead.
That's what he did against Limestone in the Crown Classic. He got a man, he got him on skates, he got his hands free, and that's a great lesson for all the kids out there in high school who are watching the game. You don't have a time to get one more step and get that open. When you get your hands free at the college level, you have to shoot the ball. That's a great shot by Kanata.
Let's get a second look, and good evasive speed there as well
and just
Jamie just mentioned, to create some space.
And a pinpoint shot in the bottom corner.
2 seconds. And from distance, Krotzer rifles this one, and the horn comes to sound here at Moret Stadium. A combined 10 goals between Lenoir-Rhyne and Limestone in the first. We'll take a quick break. High-level Division II lacrosse on the other side.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
(6-4) Lenoir-Rhyne with a 2-goal lead as we come back to you at Moret Stadium. Kendall Lewis and Jamie Dickinson here with you on SAC Live today from Hickory, North Carolina. This spot, combined 10 goals. We knew these two offenses were high power, two of the best teams in the country for sure. And this SAC a loaded conference. Lenoir-Rhyne, remember, already has a top 15 victory over Belmont Abbey, a very good team out of Conference Carolinas coming into this matchup. So they had been battle-tested coming into today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, again, Limestone with Wingate, they were short a few guys, but it was a contrast in style, both those games. Wingate and Belmont Abbey both want to play slow. LR and Limestone both want to play fast. And in those types of games, the person who gets the other team to play their style usually comes out on top.
Lenoir-Rhyne is the preseason SAC favorites coming into this year. They have 93 wins in program history. Coach Paradine's crew could reach the 100 wins mark this year, which is an incredible feat for the program. He's been here. He's in his 11th season. He started the program.
Yep.
He's been here through the trenches, and he's got this program into a national power. Just an incredible job.
Yeah, he did a great job building it his way. Oh, that's an amazing feat
by
Tommy Aguilar. That's great to see Tommy Aguilar get his first assist. That was just a heck of a play and a pinpoint pass across crease to Bryce Reese. Bryce Reese stuck it home.
Aguilar to Reese. And this is the largest lead of the game for the Bears.
And you can expect LR to keep their foot on the gas pedal.
Well, you said it today that Lenoir-Rhyne needs to play a game probably over 20 goals. That's their style and what they want to play. And when you look at how many weapons they have, it certainly makes sense. Bryce Reese is having an incredible afternoon and an incredible first half for the Bears right now. This one picked up by Torres.
Evan Torres has done a great ball playing short stick D midi, and he was an offensive player in high school, but he accepted his role as a defensive player and has just been a superstar as a short stick D midi last year and this year.
At this level at college lacrosse, Jamie, how tough is that to go from being an offensive player to a defensive player?
Well, it's really about accepting a role and doing what's best for the team. Eric was a first-team All-Conference SAC Rookie of the Year as an attackman. Lost his attackman role, little bit of a force. Lost his attackman role to Joe Budio his sophomore year and went into Coach Paradine's office and says, whatever you need me to do, Coach, I'll play. And he put it in midfield, and the first time in his life he'd ever played midfield, he was named a first-team All-American. So that was a pretty cool deal. What do we got? Oh, we got LR playing without a stick. So it's just accepting your role. And if you're an offensive player and coach says, I need you on defense, go play defense. Because that's how you're going to get on the field. I was actually talking to Torres' parents last season, and they were talking about how the transition goes, and it's like we used to talk about goals and assists. Now we talk about rides and ground balls.
Pretty incredible story. And these guys, they just want to get on the field, no doubt about it.
Dylan State from Penn Yan, New York, has got the Johnny Unitas look on his shoes there. Great
Smith
slide.
Trying to muscle his way at the crease.
Oh.
It was checked loose.
J.B. Clark got the timeout. He saw a disaster coming. Great timeout by Limestone to save the possession.
So a timeout on the field at the 12:41 mark in the second quarter. Kendall Lewis and Jamie Dickinson here with you on SAC Live and High Level Lacrosse. We told you Limestone 2-1 coming in. Lenoir-Rhyne 2-0, but they had an extremely long layoff after the game against Coker was canceled last week, so you wondered how they would come in and start this game, but they've been electric in the first half.
They've done really well. Basically, in talking to the boys in the last week after the Coker game got canceled or postponed to early April, they were able to spend 3 or 4 days just working, as they said, just working on us and just figuring us out. And it's evident from the Belmont Abbey game to this game. They've done a lot of figuring out, and especially going back to that two-way midfield play and involving some of the underclassmen more in the offense and the defense.
Well, Limestone, they've had plenty of All-Americans, as has Lenoir-Rhyne. These two teams just have bred some of the top players in the country over the years. Talk about J.B. Clark, the head coach for Limestone. He has 3 Division II national championships. And this is a team just moved from Conference Carolinas into the SAC this year. They went 71-2 overall in Conference Carolinas. You talk about a dominant force.
They're just a super strong sort of. They're the absolute gold. Great job by Victor Powell, picked up by Connor Stanley, and we got it to Starkey, and we're running.
Lenoir-Rhyne gets upfield in a hurry with tempo. This one blocked down. Baxter saves the day again.
Yeah, LR went quick there, and great save by the Limestone goalie. That's just LR's MO. They're going to play that fast game. They're going to get a couple turnovers. Not really a turnover, but just that one-shot opportunity.
Quick feed. Consoletti trying to find the back corner, missed it wide. And Limestone will just restart. Well, if you don't think these two offenses are high-powered, think about this. Noah Johnson, the keeper for Lenoir-Rhyne.
He's in the crease.
And called in the crease. Noah Johnson is actually the SAC Defensive Player of the Week after having 15 saves a couple of weeks ago against Belmont Abbey.
Absolutely. Noah Johnson has been just the backbone of the defense, and what you have when you get a goalie who's playing hot and making a lot of saves. Defense can play a little freer, play a little bit more aggressive, double team a little quicker, creates turnovers, creates offense.
Step down, the bouncer, and that one collected by Baxter.
Great save by the Limestone keeper there. Maybe Reese had a chance to get a little bit closer and throw a pump fake on that. He was pretty open on that play. But here we go. We're going to play defense now.
Limestone, one of the worst losses in program history, 12-3 to Wingate.
We got freshman Nate Ashley on the field now. He's a long pole from Bradenton, Florida, played at the IMG Academy. LR's actually got 3 guys from IMG.
What a shot! The turnaround, and that one, Ethan Stoddard.
Yeah, Ethan Sennard was a real force in the Crown Classic last year. He had multiple goals and assists. He's just a great player.
So Ethan Stenard with the goal there at 7-5. Let's take another look how Limestone's able to create this from underneath the cage.
That's just great creativity by Stenard to take what the defense gave him, which wasn't much, and convert it into a score. Zach Badeau with a face-off win and a ground ball.
Lots of fans calling the Limestone loss one of the worst showings in the J.B. Clark era. They were held to just 3 goals for the first time since 2006. Bouncer in, and from distance.
That's a big-time shot there. Rolling to the goat, getting through the pick, rolling across the top, getting to the middle of the field, and sticking it in the corner.
8-5, Bears on top. Let's take another look. And who other than Eric Dickinson, who has a hat trick today.
We got a face-off violation on blue, the first one of the half. Dan Dulzema called the top hand was off the ground. They have to have face-off guys have to have both hands around the stick and the hands on the ground.
That's a rarity from Chris Parrott. We talked about the fifth-year senior and how efficient he is.
Yep. And face-offs are, that's a little bit of a force by Linklater, and he knows it. He's got to get back and play defense now.
Now with pace, across the midfield. On the attack is Limestone, but jarred up. Not the possessions either team were looking for that time.
Nice ground ball by Joey Masson to pick it up. Heads up play. Linklater's got the ball, and we're clearing, trying to run through a double team. Oh, this looks like a go.
Whistles come in.
Oh, we got a conduct foul on White. I'm not sure what that was about.
Ground ball scooped up that time.
Ground ball by Stanley.
There's Stanley.
Micah Holland with the ball.
Well, Lenoir-Rhyne, an 11-year-old program that finds themselves number 7 in the country, 14-21 all-time against ranked opponents.
Yeah, the biggest win in program history was in 2018. We went down to Gaffney and played Limestone down there, and that was a first sign of that year we made the national semifinals that LR was for real. They went down there. It was a business trip. They expected to win. They did. They played a great game, and it was a crazy game. And it kind of been Katie bar the door since then. Great defensive stand by Limestone, and they're running a fast break.
Kratzer, the all-conference selection with pace, trying to bounce this one, and it's over the cage. And the Saints will get a restart here with 8:38 left to play in the second quarter.
All the way through, no one touched it, so we don't get a shot clock reset.
A goal apiece here in the second quarter. Not quite as electric as we saw the start of this one in the first. These two teams had about 4 goals in a matter of 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's two heavyweights throwing haymakers, and now they're kind of settled in and trying to figure it out and jab and counterpunch, and we'll see what happens.
Consoletti, so crafty with the ball. Carpenter has a goal today as well. He'll flip it back here to Kesserling.
Great aggressive defense by LR.
Good check.
Oh, everybody's getting in everybody's way here.
Ball loose on the field. Who wins the ground ball? The whistle comes in before.
We got withholding on LR. Covered the ball with the back of his stick. It's going to be Limestone ball with a fresh shot clock. Basically, you can't pin in lacrosse. You can't pin the ball to the ground with the back of your stick and withhold it from play.
Lenoir-Rhyne, 8 goals, 5 assists today. Johnson deflected this one. Ball loose on the field. Lots of contact.
We got a Limestone player with a broken stick. That's why you saw someone running off without a stick.
And now with pace, the Bears trying to answer.
Oh, that's a
potty. What a save from Baxter.
That's a great save from Baxter. Miles hitched to the middle, which is exactly the right thing to do. Got to throw a little bit of a fake there. Get the goalie to commit one way or another, and then pick your spot. Like I said, now it's punch and counter punch now.
Consoletti trying to feed this one to a cutting Stenard, who has a goal. And
Starkey makes a great play to get it to a shorty. He was running into a double team.
Just over 6.5 to play, second quarter.
One more.
McCracken rifles this one.
We got Starkey playing at X, which is not what we want to have happen. We need a short stick behind the goal.
Along the crease. Back out top. Whistles will stop play here.
Got a timeout by LR. Coach Parody didn't look like like something good was going to happen. Dickinson's holding his hands up like, come on, coach. Of course, offensive players already always think they can score, no matter how bad the situation looks.
So a timeout with 6:16 left to play in the second quarter. So what do you want to see coming out of this timeout from the Bears?
We got 66 seconds on the shot clock. We can run some offense, but we need to move the ball. We need to throw hard passes. You can't just loop the ball around. Nothing good comes from that. We just need to, even though it's a settled offense, we need to play fast. We need to play hard, move the ball, move personnel, get the Limestone defense on a carousel, and find someone open and as the boys like to call it, the back pipe bar and grill.
8-5 score here from Hickory, North Carolina. It's a good one. Lenoir-Rhyne, their largest lead of the game has been at 3 goals. It's 7-4 at the end of the first quarter. They've maintained that, each team with a goal apiece here in the second quarter.
The other thing that we're seeing here, our defense is playing huge right now. LR's defense is playing great with 2 freshmen. We've got Kyle Mason on the sideline on crutches with a knee operation, and Jarrett Maybreck has hurt his knee as well. Those are 2 upperclassmen that have actually stayed completely involved and invested in the program and really helping out their younger teammates with what they need to do to play this high level of game.
Lenoir-Rhyne with 10 faceoffs won today. as well, which is a tough task against one of the top face-off guys in the country, Christopher Parrott. And they've won the ground ball department as well, 22-14 right now. LR really getting to those ground balls today, Jamie.
Yeah, that's just aggressive play, and Coach Paradine has always preached that great stuff comes off a scramble drill, and that's where ground ball wins create scramble drills, create goals.
Step down wide right that time from Eccleston, who has a couple of goals today.
And we got a shot clock reset. The goalie got a piece of that.
So a chance to burn a little more clock as we wind down the first half. Lenoir-Rhyne on offense.
Here's something that LR's done a bunch this year so far, which I love to see, is we've inverted. We got the attack up top, the middy's playing down low. Just puts the defense just a different look, which can confuse him. Bryce Reese behind.
Baxter blocked it down on top of the crease. He picks it up again.
We got a loose ball push on Blue. The play was killed because the LR player landed in the crease. It's going to be LR ball.
Just a tough break for Limestone.
And as you can see by looking at the reaction of the players on the crease, there's a little verbal sparring going on down there too.
And Limestone kind of has their back against the wall, 1-1 in sack play. You want to fall to 1-2. As tough as this conference is, could be tough to make up ground, and with the field being shortened this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you grip the stick a little tighter, and things you start to press a little bit. That can happen to any team. That shot never got there.
Bryce Reese, he has been excellent this year. Was a three-sport athlete in high school.
Aguilar ties up McGrath a little bit with that pass. That's an unforced error that needed to be just throw a simple catchable ball. That's what your coach tells you in rec ball when you're 10, 11, 12 years old. Just throw a catchable ball so your teammate can catch the ball and you can play offense.
And we've seen some great feeds from Aguilar in the first half today for Lenoir-Rhyne. Consoletti trying to gain control.
And we got a ground ball scrap over there in front of the LR alumni who are going absolutely bonkers. Playing without a stick with Blue, it's going to be a white ball.
And the crowd's starting to get into it here at Moret Stadium today with just over 4 to go.
Love to see fans back in stands. There's nothing like, I don't know if that went off somebody or what. It didn't go off the goalie. I think it went off a defender's helmet. The ricochet looked a little bit like that.
Kanata hat trick in the Crown Classic last year for the Bears. Had a goal late in the first.
Jake Ashley with a ball.
Step down.
Ooh.
This one just gets past the
that's
stick
enough.
of Baxter, and what a save. You talk about on the doorstep that time for Lenoir-Rhyne.
And they got Dickinson playing defense. Oh, great play by Dickinson on defense.
How about that? He can do a little bit of both. Not just on offense, but on defense as well.
It's kind of crazy. He's an offensive player, but he's one of those kids who's not a liability on the defensive end. Let's see if they get him the ball as he comes down. Checks to see that they're 3 back.
Moffitt led the way with goals last year for Lenoir-Rhyne. 23, a shortened season. Again, they were destined to make the NCAA tournament a year ago. We're on a roll, as Jamie mentioned, one of the hotter teams in Division II, Lacrosse.
And one of the things that they did all summer is they stayed in touch on Zoom meetings as a team. They had a group chat. They worked really hard to keep that connection. Oh,
what a bouncer from Dickinson.
And he bows to the alumni.
You talk about a first half for Eric Dickinson, the senior from Charlotte.
Well, that's a great example of a baseball example. A guy makes a great play in the outfield, comes up to bat next. What do you usually do? Hits a home run. And that's a great fundamental shot, shooting around a defender, creating a screen. I don't think that wasn't a very hard shot, but the goalie just never saw it. 9-5.
You mentioned what makes a great shot in lacrosse. The foot has a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
right?
it's like baseball. It's like golf. It's like anything you want to. You square your hip to the target. If your foot is across the target line, across the mouth of the goal, when you crank and turn with your big muscles, your hips are going to be square to the goal, and the ball. That's where the ball's going to go. If your foot is pointed at the goal, you're going to end up yanking the shot wide. With Eric, as a lefty, he's going to yank it to the right. With a right-handed player, you got to shoot anywhere but the goalie stick there, son.
That's one thing. You mentioned it. Eric's so good at squaring to the target line, and we've seen it here in the first half. It's been evident. A mixture of shots and a multitude of goals for Lenoir-Rhyne from several different players.
And J.B. Clark is not pleased with something on the sideline. He is chewing some people out there for something. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
Coach Clark, he's been doing this for a long time. Mentioned over 300 wins. He's 311-88 as a head coach, but this is a team that went 71-2 in Conference Carolinas. He's coached at a couple of different programs.
Yeah, he came from D3 Power, Washington College. I actually went out and watched the game at Wingate last year, and J.B. Clark and one of his assistants was there, and we got to talking, and he knew who I was, and he's just a true gentleman. It's one of the most enjoyable times I've ever spent watching a lacrosse game was the afternoon I spent with J.B. Clark, one of his assistants at Wingate last year. Really respect him. He's a pro. He knows what he's doing. He's coaching his boys up. He's trying to get them to correct those mistakes. And again, he's dealing with a really young team here. Three of their three top offensive guys left to transfers, which left them a little shorthanded offensively. And unfortunately, one of their preseason All-American defenders hurt his knee before the season, is unable to play. So they're down 4 key guys from last year.
In unfamiliar territory, their first year in the SAC conference. This is the 10th all-time meeting between Limestone and Lenoir-Rhyne. They have a 7-2 advantage over LR.
Yep, I think Coach Paradine and Coach Clark have a lot of respect for each other, and they the Crown Classic last year asked J.B. Clark. He wanted to play Limestone. They wanted a D2 team in that game in that Crown Classic. And when JB was asked who he wanted to play, without hesitation, he said LR. And that's just a huge respect between Coach Clark and Coach Paradine in that it's going to be an enjoyable, fun game to watch.
Krotzer, good feed. Consoletti off the bar.
That's a great feed. Great play by Limestone. Nice crossfield pass to Stape.
Under a minute to go, first half.
Yep, great timeout by Coach Paradine. That had turnover and Limestone going the other way, written all over it.
So a timeout. Bears 52.8 seconds remaining in the second quarter here at Moret Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina. A cold, chilly afternoon. And we talked about these two teams. They have a lot of young players that are getting action with two teams that are top 15 in the country and some really good young players that are going to be tough in a couple of years. And how much this year with maybe having some time, and again, you mentioned it with the Zoom meetings, I know it was kind of difficult for the younger players to really adapt to the college level.
Well, the neat thing about it was as soon as the kids were signed their national letter of intents, they're included in not only a group chat with their signees. They also get into the players group chat, so they know each other by the time they get to campus, and they know each other's personalities. I think the first Zoom meeting I was actually fishing with Eric, and they had the first Zoom meeting where they're introducing all the new players. And I think Christian Starkey was arguing with Connor Stanley who cuts hair first, and they're just a bunch of they're having the times of their life playing lacrosse, and the one thing about Coach Paradine is there's no, you're a freshman, go stand over there. If you can earn playing time, you're going to be on the field, and that gives everybody a chance to feel like they're contributing and owns a piece of the success of the program. And that's key to keeping everybody involved.
So both teams back out on the field with 52.8 seconds left in the first half at Moret Stadium from Hickory, North Carolina. Kendall Lewis and Jamie Dickinson here with you on Sack Live.
Yep, ball's got to go through 12 or 42 on this possession at some point in time. Yeah, the shot clock is basically off. We got 30 seconds left in the period. LR is going to hold for the last shot. Expect them to go with 15 or 20 seconds left. We're 25.
At what point do you make your move? That's the
About
question.
15 seconds. Here we go. Someone's going to pop.
Linklater feeds off to a cutting.
Oh.
That time it was Moffitt who cut across and sends it in the back of the cage.
Yeah, I was joking with Miles and Eric this summer. It's like, what does 42 plus 12 equal? Goals. Just goals.
And LR has doubled the score on Limestone here in the first half.
Let's see if we can push. Let's see if we can. You can score a goal in 6.5 seconds. Let's see if we can win a face-off clean and run a fast break.
Lenoir-Rhyne, 11 face-offs won.
No, we just got to scrum at the X. Don't do anything dumb.
And the first half comes to a close. A 10-goal first half for Lenoir-Rhyne. And they've doubled the score on Limestone, 10-5. We'll take a break and be right back. The second half coming up in just a few minutes.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found an expert for my heart.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Hickory's hometown jeweler celebrates our hometown teams, college sweethearts. These couples met and fell in love in Hickory and have been together ever since. For the past 38 years, we've helped our clients celebrate a lot of milestones, and stories like these are some of our favorites. Bring your love back to where it all began. Show your college sweetheart the past as you look together to the future, and let us help you start your future here at Oz's Jewelers.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
10-5, Lenoir-Rhyne leads Limestone at halftime as we take a look at the first half stats and numbers. And Jamie, Coach Paradine's got to be happy with, when you look at the ground balls, controlling that department 25-16, and then 11-6 on faceoffs against one of the top faceoff guys in the conference.
Yeah, basically, if you control ground balls and control faceoffs, it's one thing that is really, really hard to do in lacrosse when you don't have the ball is score. If you have the ball in your stick and the other guys don't have the ball in their stick, it's really hard to score. It's just in ground balls win games. Usually the team with the most ground balls wins the game.
No question about it. And how about the 7 assists on the 10 goals? Lenoir-Rhyne is such an unselfish team.
They really, this is shades of 2018 when you had Ben Corrigan and Joe Budio and Quinn Kuhn and all these guys who were out there, and they didn't care who scored, just the goal was scored. And they would make that extra pass. They'd give up a shot to a guy standing on the back pipe who was absolutely wide open. And that's just a great sign to see that return of that type of play. It was on the verge of it last year before the season got canceled, and it's great to see the boys, as a result of having a complete fall ball and getting back to campus in January and not having had any eruptions, knock on wood, being able to just pick it up from where they left off last year.
Eric Dickinson with 4 of the 10 Lenoir-Rhyne goals in the first half. He was exceptional for Coach Paradine in that first half.
Yeah, he likes playing in big games, and he's played Limestone every year. He's been here, played him 4 times, and he's scored over 10 goals and had, I think, 5 or 6 assists against Limestone in his career. So he likes playing in these big moments.
Well, here we go to start the second half at Moretz Stadium.
Zach Badeau at the faceoff for LR.
Against Christopher Parrott of Limestone, who told you is 4th in career faceoff percentage heading into this season in the program. And he was also 11th in the program in ground balls as well.
This is one of the big things that LR has done really well over the last 2 or 3 years is their wing play on faceoffs has just been exceptional. And basically a faceoff is a loose ball, and if your guy doesn't win it cleanly and you can come up with a ball, that's just huge.
Both these teams with potential to make deep runs in the NCAA tournament. Of course, Limestone with their backs against the wall, 1-1 in sack play after dropping a 12-3 decision to Wingate last week.
Looks like J.B. Clark basically told his boys they have to play aggressively on the defensive end.
Attacking downhill is Storos.
Yep, that's a great play by Storos.
Wave it off.
They've waved it off. Evidently, the guy was Storos was in the crease on the shot before the ball entered the goal. That's a big change of event. Let's see how Limestone plays it. See if they press out aggressively on defense.
And J.B. Clark upset. Just tough breaks today for Limestone. There's been a couple of those.
When you're struggling and you make a great defensive stand like that, to have something like that happen is just it's just unnecessary. He didn't have to run through the crease. Didn't have to take that. Could have shot a little bit sooner, and that's just unfortunate for Limestone.
Aguilar, great vision in the field. He's made some great feeds today. Lenoir-Rhyne trying to stay unbeaten. This is the sack opener.
And Dickinson's got a shorty up top. This is a good spot. Moves it.
Gives way. Tough shot that time over the top of the cage from Moffitt.
Great job by the Limestone defender to keep his stick in his hands to alter that shot, get it to go high and wide.
Aguilar takes a check from Krotzer. LR patient here in the third.
Ball's off the referee. Need to pick it up. Shot clock violation.
So that's a win for the Limestone D.
That is a win for the
J.B.
D.
Clark, when you're down 5 goals, Jamie, you just have to chip away, right? Just little wins like that or what's going to have to happen here in the second half.
As I said when I was coaching, when you're down 3 or 5 or 2 or 6, the question to the players is how many goals you need to score. And everybody says 6 or 5 or 3 or whatever the lead is. No, you just got to score 1. Because if you don't score 1, you can't score 2. You can't score 2, you can't score 3. Limestone just needs to focus on scoring a goal. LR just needs to play good, solid defense, not really change up what they're doing. But there's more intensity from the Limestone right off the jump here in the third quarter. Yep, that's an illegal screen. The Limestone player threw his hip out. That's a flag. That's delay a game on 8. He was within 5 yards of the restart. LR's running.
Penalty just mounting up as Dickinson's shot goes wide for Limestone.
And that's a mental mistake. That the Limestone player knew he was within 5 yards. He just needs to not play the guy. If he just runs away, that's not going to be a foul, and Limestone's not going to be down a man for 30 seconds.
Both these teams, they've been solid in man-up opportunities. Lenoir-Rhyne, 3 goals in the man-up this year.
Kyle Hatcher from Wilmington, North Carolina on the field, freshman, really good-looking player, scored his first career goal against Belmont Abbey 2 weeks ago. A 30-second penalty you tend to play a little bit faster on man-up because it's only 30 seconds.
They dump it along the crease.
Oops, that's a little bit too much from Eccleston. He needed to just take that shot. I understand what he's trying to do to get to the high side to improve his angle. Ooh, we got a ball on the grass.
Kratzer with pace.
That's a great check. Oh my goodness. Oh, and we throw it away.
Right into the stick of Aguilar, but then they turn it over. Mentioned this is the first ever conference meeting between these two teams. The SAC opener for Lenoir-Rhyne. They were picked to win the SAC this year. And for a program that's just 11 years old, ranked for their 63rd week.
That's actually what happened there on that clear was actually a great heady play by Dillon State. He had the opportunity to just absolutely light that Limestone player up. Didn't, and as a result, didn't wind up with a penalty. Just gave contact, just trying to jar the ball loose. Didn't happen, but tendency is in that situation is just knock him out, and that didn't happen. And great play by Yak.
And another takeaway for the Bears with just under 10.5 to go, third quarter.
What has been nice to see here is this has been a really high-level game, played really hard and really fast, but there just hasn't been a lot of penalties. There's been a few technical fouls, but no personal fouls, which just attests to the skill level of both teams. Ooh.
You and I were talking with Sports Information Director Jeremy Zalak at halftime about how fast that first quarter went. Mm-hmm. Just zipped through here at Moret Stadium.
Nice hustle by McGrath to retain possession for LR at the end line. We got 40 seconds left on the shot clock.
Step down, this one high.
Eccleston did a great job dropping a stick, going low to high, just a little bit over the crossbar. Bryce Reese behind.
Reese fires shot and finds the twine.
And we got a Dougie going.
And Bryce Reese picks up his second goal of the contest, his 5th in the 2021 campaign.
That's great, patient, but up-tempo offense from LR. Reese takes this guy high, gets his hands free, shoots. Can't ask for more than that.
And a battle at the face-off X. Who will pick it up? Won by LR again.
Oh, look high. Oh, Moffitt.
How crafty
Starkey
was that? Miles Moffitt again for the Bears. And just like that, they stretch the lead out to 12-5.
Yep, that's a great play by Starkey. That's what we were talking about. He was at about 8 to 10 yards and had all rights. He could have had a shot. Threw it down to a short stick, which is what you should do when you're a pole. And Moffitt from there doesn't miss.
So back in the face-off position, Zach Badeau against Chris Parrott. Badeau, the grad student from Centennial, Colorado. Parrott from Maryland.
Yeah, he came to us as a grad transfer from Rockhurst. He's one of those guys who had his senior season end last year as a result of the season being canceled because of the coronavirus. And he wanted to play another year, and fortunately he was able to come to LR and play as a grad student. And we're just happy to have him.
Under 9 minutes to go, third quarter. Dodging the step down.
A little bit
high. A little bit high from Connor Hawk.
It's nice to see also up there behind the goal, we got a bunch of the LR football team standing on the railing watching. The athletes here at LR really support each other, cheer for each other. Some of the biggest fans of the lacrosse team are the baseball players, which is really just cool to see. Got to pick up a ground ball. That's a push. That's a loose ball push. Ball was out. That's going to be a loose ball push. Or they call the hold. That's either way. Reset the shot clock. Limestone ball.
Attacking the crease and finishing, Trent Kellner, his first of the afternoon.
That's a great goal by Limestone. They took advantage of a little bit of disorganization from LR on the defensive end. Stuck one home. We're 12-6 with 8:25 left.
Get a second look here.
Yep, just a quick go.
Is that just a breakdown defensively from Lenoir-Rhyne?
That's just they turned the switch off a little bit and didn't go cover their guys, and credit to Limestone for a good restart goal. No flash, wins the faceoff out the front.
Ground ball picked up that time from Steve Warner, the junior, with pace and numbers. And Limestone instead will pull it away. We mentioned they're 7-2 against Lenoir-Rhyne all time. LR trying to do something today that has not been done in program history. That is defeat Limestone here at Moret Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yep, this would be a big deal. They beat them in Gaffney. They beat them on a neutral site last year. It would be a huge thing for the Bears to continue this run that they got here going in the third quarter, into balance the third quarter and into the fourth. But there's a lot of lacrosse left to be played.
Erneston with it now. His sister plays at Ohio State. Dumps it off underneath the cage. Shot clock's at 23. Patiently waiting is Frank Smith.
Joey Masson has got hung up. Now he's out there playing on the ball. We're down to 10 seconds on the shot clock.
This one ripped, deflected by Johnson.
Big save by Johnson. And we got a shot clock reset, but that's a big save. Got to play a little bit more defense now, boys.
This is the first time we've really, one of the longer offensive possessions for Limestone, a chance to try to wear down this Lenoir-Rhyne defense.
Connor Stanley playing on the ball, senior defender.
Smith has it in his stick. He's a transfer from Bryant University. Dancing around the crease. Good D from Lenoir-Rhyne right now. Just over 6.5 to play.
That's an altered shot, and it's going to be Limestone ball.
So the shot clock at 42 did not reset. Smith behind the cage looking for the feed over the top, and instead it's dislodged and picked up by Colton McCracken.
Another great freshman. Where's he going to go with it? Starkey's unselfish play by Starkey. Get it through X. Get it through X. There we go.
On the doorstep. Just for a moment there, that time was Ben Yock.
Eric made a great play to a guy in the crease, but then he realized he was throwing it to a short stick Dimitri, and he put his hands up like, slow down. Let's value a possession here.
Linklater, 11th in ground balls in the conference last year. Deflected by Baxter.
Great save.
And picked up by Kreutzer. With pace, the Saints have numbers. Kreutzer looking for space. Dislodged at the crease.
Oh, that's a bad unforced error by Limestone. Started with the fast break, just trying to do too much, trying to go through a quadruple team. That just isn't going to work.
And J.B. Clark just puts his hands on his knees and looks down in disgust. Kind of get the sense Limestone, they have had chances, especially in this third quarter, to cut into this deficit even more.
They have, and it's interesting to watch. I think they're just pressing a little bit. There's obviously an expectation when you come to play for Limestone with undefeated seasons and conference championships and NCAA bids. This is like we said a number of times, this is a young team, and sometimes you got to go through some growing pains.
Well, and you made a great point. This is one of the younger offenses that he's had to deal with in his tenure at Limestone as well. So you're counting on some younger players to get the job done.
Exactly.
Against a much older Lenoir-Rhyne veteran team that's been around.
Yeah, LR's pretty young, but a lot of last year after the Belmont Abbey loss, Coach Paradine basically put it in the hands of the sophomores and the freshmen. We got a flag of some sort going on here. The ball was loose, so we got a flag. I'm not sure exactly what the penalty is.
Substitutions, wholesale changes as Limestone gets fresh bodies.
LR is going to be man down. Let's see what the call is. Eric Dickinson going in the box for a push. That's a penalty that Coach Paradine. It's a hustle penalty. It's not a mental penalty. So, not that he likes to see us down for 30 seconds, but he'll accept a hustle penalty a whole lot easier than a mental penalty.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Limestone methodical in this possession. It's a big one. Wide right.
Yep, and that's Noah Johnson with a great hustle play. Limestone didn't have a backup. It's going to be LR ball.
Limestone with just over 3.5 left to play. Anything doable in the fourth quarter if they can get this thing to maybe 4 to 5 goal deficit instead of a 6 goal deficit.
They got to go to what they're good at. They got to go play fast. They got to play fast offensively, and that's going to be tough with the LR defense the way they're playing today. But LR needs to continue to play fast. Don't take your foot off the gas here if you're the Bears. You can see that Limestone has definitely picked up the defensive intensity since halftime. Got to move that ball.
Eccleston jarred loose. Now it's right in the stick of Eric Dickinson. Good feed on the crease.
Oh, my goodness.
Bouncer. What a play. And you said it earlier. What's 42 plus 12? Just goals.
Just goals. And that's just a stupid goal by Miles Moffitt. He went totally Canadian, crossed the ball off. Instead of switching hands, crossed the ball off, cross-handed, and scored from a virtually impossible angle. Look at this.
Dickinson
catches
to
it,
Moffitt.
And there we go. 13-6 with 2:42 left in the third.
And I think the rest of the country starting to figure out just how good this Lenoir-Rhyne Bears team is this year.
And
the sky's the limit for this team if they were able to get back to the NCAA tournament.
That's going to be an LR ball. That's a great play with checking the ball out of the defender's hands. He's going to reset him at the 40-yard line. That's where the ball went out of bounds. It's a great call by the official, slowing him down a little bit and make sure you get it right.
Both of these teams know what's at stake here. This Lenoir-Rhyne team trying to stay unbeaten, looking for their third win of the season to go to 3-0, a top 10 team in the country. Jamie, they've got the weapons this year to really make a deep run in that NCAA tournament.
And the one thing that I'll mention about LR right now is the fact that they played a bunch of freshmen last year. They got midfield depth coming out their ears. I mean, they can go 2 or 3 midfields deep, which is you don't see high school teams that can go 2 or 3 midfields deep. It's just unheard of. That's a great play by the Limestone short stick, number 36, getting in Dickinson's hands, causing him to throw the ball out of bounds. It's an unforced error on 42.
Successful for Limestone as they go on offense here with 127.
This is a great sign for LR. We are actually playing with 3 freshman long poles and 1 senior. That's not only great for the balance of this year. That's for future teams. That's just a great sign.
And Jamie, in your opinion, what's the biggest difference from high school lacrosse to college lacrosse?
Just the speed and the physicality, and just the pace that the game is played. There is not you can't relax. You just got to go. You got to go hard, and you got to go 100%. A lot of parents in Charlotte with 2 kids playing on the team here at LR ask me, can my kid play in college? It's really not a question of can. It's a question of want to. D2, D3, D1 lacrosse, it's a question that you got to want it. And right now it gives every appearance that the LR Bears want this game.
13-6, 21 seconds. The shot clock virtually turned off here at Moret Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina. This is Bryce Reese, crafty.
To roommate Liam McGrath.
And this one across the crease.
Okay, here's what McGrath is going to do from the back. He's going to stuff the crease.
1.4 seconds left on the restart for LR. And that'll do it for the third. Well, a lower scoring third quarter, if you will, but a 13-6 Bears lead with 15 minutes to go. We've got the fourth quarter coming up here in just a moment. 2 heavyweights going at it in Division II men's lacrosse. Yeah, 13-6 as we come back to you at Moret Stadium from Hickory, North Carolina. It's Lenoir-Rhyne on top of Limestone, getting set to begin the fourth quarter. Lenoir-Rhyne trying to take down the Limestone Saints for the first time in Hickory, North Carolina. Limestone 4-0 here at Moret Stadium against LR, and we mentioned that Lenoir-Rhyne, one of their 2 victories against the Saints came last year in the Crown Classic, 18-16. It was a high-scoring affair. Pretty much the same thing here today. The first quarter just started out, both teams throwing haymakers, as you mentioned it earlier, Jamie.
Yeah, this is a little bit different vibe on this game. That game was back and forth. Each team had 2 and 3 goal leads. Bears went on a run at the end of the fourth quarter to score 4 in a row, and they just they took it to them. But in this game, it was 6-4 in the first. LR won the second, 4-1, 3-1 in the third. We got a player down.
Player down for Lenoir-Rhyne. You hate to see that.
I didn't see what happened.
And it's Christian Starkey that's slow to get up for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, and he's played well today.
I think we got a cramp. Yep, that looks like a cramp.
Chilly afternoon here in Hickory, North Carolina, but the sun is out. It is a beautiful day for college lacrosse.
It's a little chilly up here in the press box, but over there in the seating bowl, it looks people were with short sleeves on. It's nice and warm in the sun. Everybody's got their sunglasses on. Hope they have their sunscreen on.
And Moret Stadium, just a great place to watch a game as well. Not a bad seat.
Absolutely.
In this stadium. And Christian Starkey's back up on his feet. Good to see. Good sign for LR and good sign for him. Glad that he appears to be okay.
That appears to be a cramp. He's walking kind of gingerly. Yeah, he's walking on his heel. Appears to be a cramp. That's hate to see someone go down like that, but
Kendall Lewis and Jamie Dickinson here with you today on SAC Live. We're glad you're tuned in from wherever you may be. This was a highly anticipated matchup all week long.
Yeah, that's a bad cramp. Well, they're going to tend to Starkey there, get him some fluids, get him some stretched out a little bit, hopefully relieve that cramp.
Mike Carpenter, he's got a goal today. And they run it through X with Frank Smith, the redshirt freshman from Bayville, New York. Attacking off the bar, the rebound, and rejected again by Johnson. That's why he's the SAC Defensive Player of the Week right there.
Great ground ball by Limestone to retain possession. We got a post and a save. Sometimes the post is goalie's best friend. Now we got another cramp.
So checking in for Lenoir-Rhyne is
Aaron McKeels.
Aaron McKeels from Tucker, Georgia, the sophomore.
We're going to reset the shot clock because we had an injury. J.B. Clark is questioning Danny Dolzema's call. We got an injured player. He had an injured player in the scrimmage area, and that's when that becomes a player safety deal, and that's when the referee's going to stop the play. Limestone had the ball on that side of the field. That's why the play was killed. J.B. Clark will disagree with Danny Dolzema, but that's what the call was. And you're typically not going to get the referee to change his mind by arguing a call.
McCracken trying to force Carpenter to go left. Off a pick.
And
this one,
deflected.
Deflected.
Got to get the ground ball, guys. Go get it. Go get it.
Consoletti couldn't quite get there in time.
Oh, we had goalie interference. We had goalie interference on the clear. It's going to be LR ball, free clear. We're waiting for the restart. Everything's just a little bit discombobulated right now.
"13 minutes. A lot of work to be done for Limestone. This is a program that's played in the national championship in 6 of the last 8 seasons. That's the dynasty that J.B. Clark has in Gaffney, South Carolina.
Yeah, they're the gold standard.
And this one picked up by Kratzer. With pace, Storos, he has a goal. The long stick.
Oh, that's a great play by Dickinson to get on. Now he's going to get a dead ball interference foul. That's a That's a dumb play by Dickinson to give the ball back to Limestone. I'm his dad, I can say that. And I'm sure Coach Paradine's going to let him hear about it as well. Great stick by Stanley. Way to take a blow and get it to Johnson for the clear. Yeah, that was a mental mistake by Dickinson. He made a great play to get the ball out of Storrs' stick and out of bounds, and then he just went and pushed him in the back, which is just dumb.
Mentioned Limestone national championships in 6 of the last 8 seasons. They've made appearances. They won it in 2014, 2015, and 2017.
Yeah, Lemoyne, Mercyhurst, Delphi. There's some real powers in D2, and LR's trying to break through and get to championship weekend. They were on the way last year and looking to do it again this year.
Well, these are 2 programs, Jamie, that high school players, they want to go play at. They 2 coaches that they want to go play for. And off the post.
It's going to be in the crease.
This one's going to go back to Limestone with 11 and a half minutes to go in the 4th quarter here at Moret Stadium.
Yep. And we got a double team. Oh, nice check.
Checked loose.
Nate Ashley. Now we got to pick up the ball. Great pickup. Go Connor. Run.
That's a freshman from Florida making the play defensively for LR. Step down.
Liam McGrath.
Wow.
That's a great feed to a trailer by Dickinson. Kind of making up for that dumb mistake at the other end of the field. Getting the ball in the back of the net.
And that right there could have been the dagger, Jamie, with 11:07. Time just running out for Limestone.
Yeah, it's interesting now with the new shot clock rule. You got a minute and 20 seconds to score. If you look at the 11 minutes left, LR's going to, every time LR has the ball, they're going to take a minute and 20 seconds now. It just becomes really difficult for a team that's down by 8 to score that unless they can play make it, take it, lacrosse, winning faceoffs. And here they do. They win one here. Let's see what they can do with it.
J.B. Clark, one of the best in the business, the head coach for Limestone.
Victor Powell back on the field after having a little cramp. That's great to see him back. I think they're still working on Starkey down on the sideline. Now here's the problem. Limestone typically likes to play super fast. And now LR is forcing them on the defensive side to play offensive in a half-field set. In recent years, that's not been Limestone's MO. They want to go fast, kind of the way LR does, and this is just sort of unfamiliar territory for them. Oh, our defense is playing spectacularly today.
Well, through the first 2 games, in Lenoir-Rhyne, they had a battle with North Greenville to open the season 9-8 out of Conference Carolinas. It was a couple of Conference Carolinas foes. And then Belmont Abbey here at home, they won 14-11.
Yeah, the 9-8 game was a little bit deceiving. We were down 2 defensive starters, one to injury, one to a COVID protocol deal, and we were down 4 offensive starters to same protocol, COVID protocol. And the freshmen played well, got the victory, and it's sort of that old Jim Valvano survive and advance deal. And now we got everybody back, and we're playing LR lacrosse, playing Bears lacrosse.
And a short turnaround for Lenoir-Rhyne at Anderson on Wednesday.
Yeah, Anderson had a great game. Dickinson to Eccleston.
And Eccleston has a hat trick today at the 9:15 mark, 15-6 Bears.
Yeah, Anderson played today, and they let's see. Let me check the score here real quick. Anderson was up 15-5 at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, so it looks like it's going to be 2 teams with really good records playing on Wednesday down in Anderson, South Carolina. Anderson's a new team in the SAC, just like Limestone.
Well, in the rest of the season, pretty much Wednesday, Saturday tilts. There is a Tuesday game thrown in there for Lenoir-Rhyne as the SAC schedule goes along. When you look at this,
J.B. Clark calling timeout.
When you look at this Limestone team, they're at Catawba on Wednesday, and then 3 straight home games.
Hold on, we got mayhem on the field here. J.B. Clark was on the field asking for a timeout. I don't think the referee adjudicating the face-off heard what's going on.
And the officials convening at midfield here at Moret Stadium.
Okay, what Danny Dolzman was explaining to J.B. Clark is there's not going to be a face-off violation. J.B. Clark doesn't quite understand what's going on. And frankly, I don't either, but if Danny says what Danny says, I'm going with that. He's one of the most experienced young officials we have here in the South. Does Duke, Virginia, and UNC games, so he knows his stuff.
Up top that time, top corner, and it's Eccleston again.
Eccleston performing a little CPR into his stick after the goal. And there's going to be a goalie change for Limestone. Number 22 is coming into the game.
Great feed right along the crease for Eccleston to finish it. And this has been all Bears in the second half.
Wow, I just got an update on the Anderson Mars Hill score. It is 24-8 in the fourth quarter with 14 minutes left. J.B. Clark is now calling timeout. And he is not pleased. He is not pleased with the way things are going right now.
We mentioned it. He hits the road at Catawba on Wednesday, and then 3 straight home games. So this is a part of Limestone's schedule where maybe the Saints can do some soul searching and find themselves as they return back to Gaffney, South Carolina. But a couple of tall tasks in Wingate and Lenoir-Rhyne in 2 of their first 3 SAC games their first year in the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that JB mentioned last year when I talked to him is he was going to run a gauntlet starting the SAC play. And Catawba is a weird team to figure out. They beat Belmont Abbey to begin the year, and then they lost the game. And so we don't. We're going to have to wait until 4 or 5 weeks of the season pass before we can really figure out what the identities of these teams are, and then we'll have teams from the north starting to play, and then it'll start to get really interesting.
8:56 left to go in this one. Kendall Lewis and Jamie Dickinson here with you on SAC Live today. LR has been awesome on face-off today.
Just go back, make a smart play, make a simple pass, use your goalie if you need to, set up the clear. You got 20 seconds to clear it. Just want to give a shout-out to Noah Flash. Noah Flash came from a club program on the south side of Charlotte that really doesn't have he played club lacrosse rather than varsity lacrosse. And he put in the work. There's an errant pass by Dickinson throwing it away. He put in the work last summer of 2019 to become a better face-off guy, and he was absolutely phenomenal in the what do we got going on here? I have no idea. Dickinson's going to the penalty box again. And Eric holds the LR record for goals. He's working on the LR record for assists. And he's actually now the career leaders in penalty and penalty minutes. So he's going to, as they say, check all the boxes.
Have you made him aware of that?
Oh, yes. It's absolutely clear. I think that was a great call by Danny Dozema there. It was getting a little bit chippy, and just putting someone in the penalty box for a play that like that just sets a tone that the referees are not going to take any grief and let this game get out of hand. We're going to play lacrosse. We're not going to do anything stupid.
What a pass. What a shot that time, and a great save by Johnson.
Great shot, better save.
Stenard behind the head with the stick that time, trying to flip it back.
Almost hit a couple of students sitting there back by the fence in front of the dorm. I got texts coming in. Let's see what they say.
Nice feed right on the crease, and just missing on the doorstep that time was Kesselring, the senior from Atlanta. And off the crossbar. And the shot clock.
Yep, we got a reset.
Resets for Limestone.
Shot clock resets on a save or a ball that goes off a crossbar or a post.
Well, the clock not on the side of Limestone.
That's a great play.
Nice play from Frank Smith. His first goal of the day. And the redshirt freshman from Bayville, New York, cashes in for Limestone.
It's nice to see when you get down like this in a game. This is a time for kids who maybe are not starters to get an opportunity to play hard for their coach, and show them what they can do and earn some playing time next week. So I'm sure you're going to see whoever's on the field for Limestone, they're going to go 100%.
Lenoir-Rhyne 6-11 against ranked opponents here at Moret Stadium. And we told you, looking like they're going to top Limestone for the first time on this field in program history.
That's a face-off violation by Noah Flash, one each in the second half. 3 face-off violations, and we're going to go to the box of shame for 30 seconds for delay a game.
So, Jamie, if you're Limestone, of course, this is unfamiliar territory if they fall to 1-2 in conference play. Where do you go from here? If you're JB Clark, what do you do this week? You got a soul search.
You just go back to basics. You go back to throwing, catching, ground balls, shooting, playing smart, and just when I was coaching middle school, high school, rec ball, college, when you have a loss, you have a couple losses. It's the basics. It's throwing, it's catching, it's ground balls, it's running your offense, doing what you do. That's a great job by the Limestone player getting top center, and we got another flag on LR. A cross check. Who's going in?
Substitutions in for both teams. The defensive package of LR, Coach Greg Paradine. It's been impressive today.
Aaron McKeels gets his name in the scorebook. He's down for 1 minute for a cross check.
And the depth of this Lenoir-Rhyne team going to make them so deadly this year.
Great skip. A little bit high. Great skip pass by Limestone. You Coach Cromp calling out the defensive plays. That's not a very good shot. That's high to high, right at the goalie stick side. That's going to be saved 90% of the time at this level.
Especially with a keeper the caliber of Noah Johnson as well.
Absolutely.
Mentioned the 15 saves against Belmont Abbey for Noah Johnson. He was able to claim SAC Defensive Player of the Week honors after that performance
Yeah, that goes to a couple things. Talented goalie, but also that that the defense is playing really well in front of him and giving him clear looks of the ball on a shot. Limestone just subbed their entire attack trying to get some other guys in the game. Nice trail check. Eccleston running for his life.
Right at the crease, disrupted, and the Saints able to pick up the ground ball with just under 4.5 minutes left to play. Well, at Catawba on Wednesday for the Saints, for Lenoir-Rhyne, it's Anderson.
Now, I'm not sure what to make of this Anderson team. They are now 26-9 up on Mars Hill. That's a crazy score.
How fun is the SAC tournament going to be this year as well with these teams?
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to see Limestone again in the SAC tournament somewhere. The cool thing is that the SAC tournament this year is going to be right here between the bricks.
Well, and you talk to the coaches across the country, they're just glad to have games to play against so much unknown. You go back even a couple of months ago, especially with the D2 landscape as well with spring sports.
Yep, the really positive thing here at LR is the way Michael Flicker and the training staff has done their job in managing COVID and keeping our kids testing negative, keeping them healthy, keeping them safe, and for everything is keeping them on the field, and that's a big thing. Teams that can keep their kids on the field are going to have a lot of success this year. Teams that go fits and starts and stop and have games canceled are going to struggle.
And depth always an important part, especially in lacrosse. But, Jamie, how much do you feel this year it really is a game of attrition when you don't know if you're going to have everybody there night in and night out?
The games this year, or the teams that have depth are going to be able to succeed because they're going to be able to have full practices. And if you're able to practice at full strength, games become a lot easier. I think that may be what Limestone's running into with some kids who missed last week against Wingate, and they don't seem quite as sharp as they normally are. I expect them to correct J.B. Clark to correct that big time and go on a roll here in sack play coming up. Great ground ball there by
Nate Ashley.
Yep.
He jarred it loose as well. He made a great play in the third quarter, checking one loose.
Oh, we got Jack Dickinson, Eric's brother, on the field. As soon as Coach Paradine saw J.B. Clark starting to sub his guys, Coach Paradine reciprocated, got some kids on the field who need some experience. Great to see some other guys on the field. Number 1, Zach Swanson, is out there with his roommate, Jack Dickinson. Who else is playing attack? Number 13 is David Bell. So we got Bell, Swanson, and Dickinson in attack right now.
You mentioned the mutual respect that these two head coaches have, Greg Paradine and J.B. Clark, for one another. And Lenoir-Rhyne is going to stay unbeaten, 3-0, a perfect 3-0 season and a perfect 3-0 start. And they're going to win their SAC opener, first time they will defeat Limestone in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yep, it's going to be a happy post game. Good patient offense by the Bears. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to run as much of a minute, 20-second shot clock off and create a just kill some time. Oh, we got a loose ball in the middle of the field.
And Johnson just going to collect it in the cage.
Bryce Reese clearing the ball. Under a minute here. Just take the ball in the corner and hold it. Play smart.
Well, LR is going to get it done.
This is a big win for the LR program.
Behind play from Eccleston, Moffitt, and Dickinson, each with 4 goals apiece. 3 players combined for 12 of the 16 Bears goals.
And this is a big win. This is 3 wins over Limestone in 5 years. I think that's probably one of the first times their team in 5 years has been over 500 against Limestone. Limestone's going to come back from this. It's a hard loss to take. J.B. Clark's going to take care of business, get them back on a roll, and start winning games.
And shots have been fired to the rest of the country. Lenoir-Rhyne is for real. A 16-7 final over the Limestone Saints.
It's been a pleasure. Look forward to doing another game with you here between the bricks. And go Bears.
What a performance for Greg Paradine's crew. As we mentioned, 3 players combined for 12 of the 16 Bears goals. And the final score is 16-7. LR perfect 3-0 on the season, 1-0 in sack play as Limestone falls to 2-2 and 1-2 in sack. But give J.B. Clark's crew credit. They will be around. A tough-minded team that is used to winning. Once again, final score 16-7 for Kendall Lewis alongside my partner Jamie Dickinson. Thank you for tuning in today from Moret Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina. The rest of our production crew, we say so long from Hickory.